Altered item number 5, the game hammer. It is the only known item in the Panopticon to have been given the BE designation. No specifics of the Bureau's classification system are currently on file. However, based upon the item's effect, BE may be the label used for biological effects. Any physical contact with the item creates an infection at the contact site. Quote, "The effects of this disease are similar to leprosy, but develop at a much faster rate. Within a matter of days, tissue loss develops in the limbs closest to the point of infection. While the disease itself has not claimed any lives, secondary infections has resulted in numerous deaths." End quote. Personal note: perform any outside research on the details of leprosy and the cause of death during the next run. Any updates will be supplemented at the end of this recording. The first documented outbreaks occurred in 1956 and followed the movement of the Smiley Sisters Carnival. The infection began amongst young men in the visited towns. The game hammer was used in a common carnival game called High Striker. Any youth playing this game of strength would suffer the altered item's effect. I gotta stop talking to myself. Over the next several years, the deaths stacked up and panic spread amongst the affected communities. Local newspapers began to report these incidents. Eventually, tensions bubbled over into full-blown mass hysteria, and citizens burned the carnival to the ground, believing them to worship the devil. By this time, the FBC was called in. At this point in the Bureau's history, we had not discovered AI-14, so the rituals we commonly use today to identify objects were not implemented. So other methodologies were used in order to locate the altered item that was believed to be hidden amongst the burnt debris. Stray animals were placed in an isolated room with the carnival equipment, one by one, until symptoms developed.
Trip to communicate.
The game hammer was identified in this manner and contained. The carnival owners and local populace was informed that a deadly pathogen was in the carnival's gear. All remaining property was incinerated, as well as the infected animals. Unlike the mistake with the oscillator fan, this disinformation campaign left no loose ends. Supplemental memo. Based upon a Korean study between 2010 and 2013, the most common cause of death for those suffering from leprosy is from ischemic heart disease, liver cancer, and pneumonia. These account for approximately 58% of all deaths. Without further medical research on the nature of this disease, the link to leprosy cannot be fully determined. Shit. I recommend the intentional infection of lab rats in a controlled setting. Tissue and blood samples of the subjects should then be taken for study.